On the COVID Chronicles today, the life of apples. Once upon a time, there was a Granny Smith apple who wanted to be a Macintosh apple. And all the Macintosh apples that the Granny Smith apple hung out with agreed to make the Granny Smith apple an honorary Macintosh apple. Unfortunately, other apples in other counties and cities and countries didn't believe the Granny Smith apple was a Macintosh apple.
Well, they recognized her as a Granny Smith. Yeah?
Well, they didn't believe it was true.
Oh.
They didn't understand.
Okay.
Until it was explained to them. But the Granny Smith apple felt no obligation to explain and was constantly upset about being mistaken to be a Granny Smith apple, which is what everyone believed the Granny Smith apple was, because that's what the Granny Smith apple appeared to be.
You want to try to say that again? Say that again, because I think you said she didn't want to be mistaken for a Granny Smith apple. Oh, yeah, right. 'Cause she wanted to be this other apple.
She wanted to be a Macintosh apple.
Okay.
But she wasn't making any effort to let people know that she was a Macintosh apple.
She was just super offended.
Super offended by anybody who thought that she was a Granny Smith apple. Because other people,
Apples?
smelling the apple, looking at the apple, would conclude it was a Granny Smith apple. And such, they treated the apple as a Granny Smith apple.
Mm-hmm. That kind of goes with our video from yesterday. You know what I'm going to do with those apples? Bake them in a pie.
Make them one.
Make them one.
In my tummy, in my belly. Mix in some apples. What's the best kind of apple to make a pie from, though?
I don't know. Max. I usually use Max.
Well, what if Granny Smith apples want to be in a pie?
Nope. They're too dense.
That's prejudice.
I know.
That's discrimination.
Yep. You could take a mixture of apples and make it. Let's make apple crisp. Now look what you've done.
Had a long conversation today with somebody trying to explain not trying to explain myself, trying to get some more information about this experience and whether or not there are, if it's a new trend that everybody who feels marginalized doesn't feel any obligation to educate people about their marginalization. I was told, no, that's probably just people who are being intentionally obstructive, who are not willing to educate those who don't know. But that's kind of how some of it appears to me. It's like, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it calls itself a beaver, I'm not going to believe it.
I feel very offended by that statement. Having a beaver of my own.
looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, waddles like a duck, and wants to be called a chipmunk. I don't think I'm going to believe it.
Believe it or not. What else is happening in the news? Donald Trump is nominating his new Supreme Court judge.
Now, if that chipmunk explains to me that it's a duck.
I am tired of chipmunks and apples and ducks. I don't care how outraged people are. If you're an apple and you want to be a different apple, just suck it up and explain to people why. And don't get offended if they don't understand. That's all.
That's all. RBG, RBG. Red, blue, green. Red, blue, green.
It's hard to say.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
The Notorious.
I don't know what else to talk about. Oh, our cat is in a box right now. Isn't that interesting how cats do that?
Cat in a box.
Cat in a box.
When he's bad and he's on the counter with me and he's being supervised, or he's supervising me while I'm cooking, he has to stay far back and he has to be behind this little barrier box of tea. So he puts his front paws on that and he watches everything. And sometimes he gets carried away when there's raw meat. He crosses the barrier. And I push him back and I say, "Do you want to go in the bathroom?" Alan always laughs. And I think he looks kind of sheepish in a cat sheepish way.
Well, I've noticed we can say things to him when he's kind of like compulsively scratching, and he'll stop now. If you just go, "Hey, hey, hey," he'll look at you and go, and then he'll stop scratching.
Is a scratching problem. Well, we should wrap this up. Thank you for listening. How many days till the damn election? 39? 38?
Don't know.
Less than 40. Yay!
Gotta be less than 40. Hopefully, coming to America soon, a new president.
That's it, that's all.